VITOR Perreira is a red. Come on. What's up, YouTube? This is Kedris here. This is my reaction to VITOR Perreira getting the Nottingham Forest job. We're going to be looking at what he does, where he came from, what his tactics are going to look like, how the team's going to lay out, and my expectation for the results moving forward. So I put in a lot of research, so forewarning to anybody who's watching, this is going to be a probably 20 to 30 minute video. I really dug deep with this one, and I'm going to show you what's under the hood. So this is the JLA Tactics board. This is something I use frequently, and I absolutely love it. I'm not sponsored at all, and you do have to pay a subscription if you don't want to get it, if you do want to get it, but I highly recommend it. It is an amazing tool for breaking down like different states, and they usually have the update for the lineups about an hour after the match, sometimes even sooner. If y'all just want a little look into under the hood of kind of the research I do and the amount of effort I put into this crap, that's just a little glimpse of the Word document I'm going to be using to talk about this signing. Um, so obviously, he's known for his time at Wolverhampton Wanderers, where he played a 3-4-2-1. I think that's important because if you look at the timeline of Vitor Pereira as a manager, he's adjusted from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1, and he's finally kind of settled in his last two tenures on a 3-4-2-1, which I think is actually a good thing for us. I think it provides us with some interesting opportunities, especially for certain players, and it brings back some qualities that I think we forgot about with all the season and the way it happened with certain players and the positions that they've played in other leagues. Now, he was the Wolverhampton manager for 2024 to 2025. He also was a manager of El Shabab, Flamengo in 2023, Corinthians in 2022, Fenerbahce in 2015 to 2016, and also in 2021. He was coached at Shanghai in the Chinese league from 2017 to 2020. He was the manager for Munich in 2017, and he was the manager for Olympiacos. Hey, the connection. Back in 2015. Hey, that's when I started watching Forest. And before that, he was with Al Ali from 2013 to 2014, and Porto from 2011 to 2013. So, what is the philosophy of VITOR Perreira? So, his philosophy is mid block, but we want to start, guys, we want to start with a reactive press. So, the first thing we do, we press. If they break the press, then we go into a mid block with a kind of diamond in the middle to block out the middle of the pitch. So, what's going to happen is a lot of teams are going to get joy in the wings because we are so concentrated in the middle. And I think that's a good thing, honestly. The way that the Premier League is nowadays, a lot of crosses and whatnot coming into the box. There is some problems. I know his time at Wolves ended with him on a 6-game lose streak, but you have to understand that Cunha and Aitnori, his two creative outlets, left the club, and they never replaced that. There was no quality upgrade, and it was kind of a drop. Also, combined with that, the way he was kind of switching formations to try to make it work, kind of stirring the pot, it led to a lot of assumptions about him not being able to find answers and being indecisive. I don't think so. I think a lot of it was him trying to match personnel to see what kind of um not duels, partnerships work, and it just couldn't find anything. So I'm ready to give him a shot. I think he has a good philosophy. I like the way he does things. Looking at his win percentage, 52.94% win percentage. I like that. He had a really good win percentage at Porto, 93 matches, 78% win percentage. He had a 67% at Olympiacos with 27 matches, 60% at Shanghai, the 117. Fenerbahce, that was probably his lowest. No, Corinthians was actually his lowest. at 44% and 40.63% respectively. And he played managed 86 matches for Fenerbahce. That includes his second stint, by the way. And Corinthians, he had 64. At Wolves, he had a 36% win percentage, which is not good. But that is with including he only had 38 matches. That is including the 6 matches at the start of the season where he went winless. And I think there's something here. I don't he wasn't my first choice. I want to be honest, De Zerbi was my first choice. But just looking at his evolution, going through it, testing things out, having his stint in the Premier League already to where he can see what failed and what he was really important to him. I think he is going to come back as a better manager, and honestly, his style is something I approve of. The pressing, the mid block, the way we block out the middle of the park are all things that are in my own managerial philosophy when looking at something. So let's get to building this lineup and what Pereira looks for in his team, in his players. So I got obviously with the injury to Sells and to John Victor, it's going to be Ortega in goal. I just had him. Where is he at? There he is. So it's going to be Ortega in goal. He's actually really good for the system because Pereira likes the goalkeeper to be able to pass the ball to the center backs. Obviously, he's not a really big long ball kind of guy. He will do it when necessary, but he doesn't like to do it. Um, Looking at our back three, I think this is the part that's the most exciting for me, at least, because obviously you're gonna have Murillo and Milinkovic. God, I can't find these guys at all. So Murillo and Milinkovic. But then outside of that, you have options. You have Murata, who I think is actually a good player in a back three. Like I think that is his forte, and his ability in passing range is something that can be heavily utilized in this Pereira system. So honestly, I don't mind seeing either Jair Cunha or Murato in this type of formation. Obviously, Murata would be on the left. I think Murillo would probably shift. He likes left-footed center back on the left, right-footed center back on the right. But both those options, to me at least, in a back three, are actually pretty good. Like I got no problem with it. Moving on to the wing backs, I think we see Nets. He likes a left-footed left back and a right-footed right back. Thank God, can we finally have something normal? So I think what we're going to see is not Ina Williams on the right, Nets on the left, and that's what I want to see. You're going to have Ina coming off the bench to work on either the left side or the right side. You also have, and this is really important, you've got Ndoye, who's worked as a right wing back in the Serie A where he came from. Like he's actually played that position. He has experience there. And actually some of his best matches were at the right wing back position. So this could be interesting. I say right wing back, left wing back. It's left mid, right mid. It's whatever if you feel like it. But it's an idea is where they occupy on the pitch. So you also have Aina who can switch sides. You also have Bakwa, who a lot of people forgot played wing back in Liga. So we got guys who can play that position, got multiple options and different kind of profiles. The depth is looking really good, and I'm liking it a lot. And I think this will help these players in this system specifically because Bakwa and Ndoye obviously have been struggling. I think the big thing with them is they haven't been able to get that one-on-one situation where they're isolated and they're not been ready to take advantage of it. I think if they play kind of left mid, right mid, the wing back kind of position, they got more room, more space to drive into, which is what they're really good at. They're not good at taking on a man. I mean, Backwell was supposed to be, but Ndoye was never that. What he is good at is attacking the space, and I think this kind of system helps him in that regard. Obviously, all this could just be me fucking coping, but I'm gonna try to cope as hard as I can. All right, moving on to the midfield pivot. Obviously, it's going to be Anderson and Sangare for multiple reasons. One, so Pereira likes anchors in his midfield. He likes people that can hold on to the ball under pressure, and I think these two are the best at it. And he needs the defensive stability they bring because a lot of the times he likes his center backs to step out into the wing area and help with build up. So he needs these two guys in the pivot to be active in their movement and also be able to cover in whenever the center backs make those runs up the pitch to create opportunities. He'll expect these guys to step back into the line and create that back three defensive security. So looking at that, that's what we got. We also have options as Dominguez and Yates. Um, for me, at least, in this type of system where there's a lot of movement and you need to be able to step in back into that defensive line, I actually think Yates could thrive in this system better than Anderson because we could see Anderson actually move up into the 10 position and play up here where his creativity can be more utilized. My only problem with that is he's not a goal scorer. Anderson is not very good at scoring goals. So in this system, these three at least I think could thrive, and Anderson I think has a shout to play the 10 position as well. Who else we got here? So moving forward to the 2-10 positions in this 3-4-2-1. I think we're going to see a reprisal of Gibbs White. And this is where it gets spicy, and this is where I really like this type of formation is McAtee. McAtee, this is the perfect type of formation where he thrives. He's not asked to be on the wing, pulled out to the touchline. He's not asked to take on a man. He's asked to sit in the half space and pass the ball and be able to utilize his ability to see and create opportunities. And I think this type of system is literally this is it. This is what he needs. And if he can't make this work, I think just need to sell him. He needs to go. He needs to go to another league. And you also have an option of Hutchinson, who also he's actually people forget, but Hutchinson was actually a 10. And I think this could work. Now moving to the front line, honestly, the guy who works the most in Pereira's system is Lorenzo Luca. So what Pereira likes from his striker is someone who can be a target man, who can hold up the ball, who can keep the center backs honest and uptight, because he wants these tens to operate in the half space. So what do you need for that to happen? You need the striker to hold his position high and not come deep to get the ball. And I think that's something where Lorenzo Luca is going to become an integral part of this team. And I think Awani could also be an option if we need a counterattack. Awani, for all of his faults, is great when it comes to pressing energy and being able to get in behind and make those runs. And I think Igor Jesus could have an interesting role. He could be playing that left 10 position, and I think he could be someone who can interchange at that striker position. But either one, to me at least, is a good position for him. I think he's going to get minutes. I think Luca is going to start, but I think he could see a real resurgence in at least the Premier League in his goal scoring output. So, what does that mean for Hudson Odoi? Hudson Odoi, honestly, think could be good for him. He also can play this little left 10 position. I think, honestly, it could be good for him because he's not on the wing. He just slows down play, and he's just not creating good opportunities. And he's having to do this thing where he takes the ball wide, and then he tries to like cut inside all the way to do something. I just think that's helping him, and putting him in this half 10 position actually could be an interesting thing where um he could thrive. And I've been talking mad shit about him. So looking at this, what are the cons? Obviously, we saw from the time of Amrin at Manchester United that this system is very hit or miss in the Premier League. Oliver Glasner makes it work, and so Amrin's a case in how it doesn't work, and Oliver Glasner is a case in how it does work. So honestly, I don't have a problem with the system. To me, formations aren't as important as player profiles. And for me at least, the profiles of our players match up excellently with this type of system. And I think that was the problem with Manchester United. The problem with Manchester United was their player profiles didn't match up with that type of system. I mean, he was playing Mazraoui, who was a right back at center back, and he was playing Diallo at right wing back, that guy played winger his entire life. So I think the system could be interesting. I think it could provide opportunities for certain players or fringe players to get minutes and really utilize the better attributes of some of these players. And he has options. He can go more defensive, like with Nets and Bakwa. He can go more attacking with like Ndoye and Williams. He has coverage with Aina. Our midfield too, our anchors are very interchangeable. I think Anderson could take a prize up here at the 10 role. He's got definite options. He has a striker that's the best for his system. There is, at least to me, no reason for him to fail. And he's got 7 days to do it, 6 days to do it. So I'm excited, man. I am excited to see him play. And I think if we can get good training sessions in, I think we're going to surprise Fenerbahce and come away with a win on Thursday. I think we can do it. I think this is going to be the interesting part. I think we're going to have some issues with Liverpool. They're on fire right now, and we're in a transitional phase with this new formation. So I think the Liverpool match will actually be a great litmus test and a real interesting view into how he's going to approach these bigger game matches. And like we have a lot of confidence against the Big Six because we usually kind of get a result, especially against Liverpool. We could have a nice win streak going on here, and then we play Fenerbahce again the following Thursday. What's my thoughts if we bomb out of the Europa League? If he loses against Fenerbahce with this new system, I, I mean, I can't be mad. I really can't. I mean, we put ourselves in this situation. We have only ourselves to blame, and I think his system provides the best opportunities for the players we got. So if the players can't take advantage of that, can't pay attention in training, can't commit to getting better and working on it, I have to blame the players. If we drop out of the Europa League, I cannot blame anybody but the players. Um, this is a successful manager. He's done it, especially in Europe, and there's no excuse. I understand if we lose to Liverpool, but we got to get something against Fenerbahce, and if we don't, I blame the players 100%. So, anyways, that was my reaction. That was my breakdown of VITOR Perreira, our new Forest boss, manager, whatever you want to call him. And I think it's going to be a good thing. But if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. I really enjoy them. And at the end of the day, guys, what's important is that we get behind the manager. We have to get behind the manager until he sucks. Just like Daesh. I was Daesh out, but I wasn't calling for his head. I was just like, he can stay till the summer. You got to get behind the manager. That's all I got to say. Come on, you Reds.